What's up, mortals? It's Dante, and today we have a brand new chapter in Four Knights of the Apocalypse with chapter 199, The Visitor. We have a lot of big reveals this chapter, but also a little bit of a downside, if you couldn't tell by this cover. So with the introductions out of the way, let's get into it. We begin this chapter with Percival extending his hand out to the defeated and bloody Diodora, much to everyone's shock. But as to be expected from someone who just got his butt kicked, Diodora slaps the hand away, telling him not to joke with me. With no shame in his eyes, his face bloodied and bruised, he tells Percival, "Just end me. I've got no regrets left in this world," telling Percival that they're waiting for me in the afterlife, assuming one exists. Actually, there's two. There's the afterlife for good souls, and the one you're probably going to, which is purgatory. Hey, you can join with your little animal pals. Percival agrees with me, saying, "Oh yeah, there does," with Anne not exactly telling him that he's encouraging him. I disagree. I think Percival is just trying to confirm his faith that there is an afterlife. However, Percival is not telling him that there is an afterlife, but that he has something he still needs to do to make his father remember him, which makes Diodora very angry. The son of Ironside yells, "Stop making yourself out to be some kind of savior. You are his enemy." Percival does not shrug that off, confirming that yeah, and I'm not gonna let Ironside just slide or go, but to you, he's your cherished father, right? The kid is not having any of Percival's words, yelling at him that his father has completely forgotten about him. He doesn't care if he lives or dies. Percival even tells him that he probably didn't forget him because he wanted to, probably. This infuriates the son of Ironside. With tears in his eyes, he yells, "So what do you want me to do?" With a massive tongue slobbering at his face. Diodora stops his little tirade as his pets Sia and Snark just starts comforting him. I guess all this time he needed a therapy pet. The Knight of Death tells Diodora, "I'm sure it won't be easy, but let's all think about our next steps." With the next few panels are just Diodora crying and no. This is how the issue is resolved. Diodora giving up like that after everything that happened, after everyone that he killed, threatened to kill, the build-up. This is how we're ending. No, just freaking no. I don't care what Vargia said to Percival. Diodora would not give up that easily after everything. Just no. But back to it. 𝐸𝐻 announces that it was quite an unexpected twist, but Diodora seems uninterested in continuing. And so, the winner of our first semi-final match is Percival, as we all knew, because of course he is. Everyone gives their own reactions on Percival's win. Gawain is furious that the bums has preserved most of his stamina in magic, with Tristan even agreeing, knowing that one of them would have to face him in the final. The Percival harem give their thoughts with Nasian saying, "That fight was too bad for my heart." Even Anne agreed. Rather than focusing on Percival this time, Camelot Isolde says that he's just like me. And yeah, he is. These two could have gotten so far in whatever plan that they had in their messed up states. They need help, and Shion, dude, what the hell is with that face? 𝐸𝐻 is standing right next to the Green Knight and notices Percival smiling at the fact that in those 2 years, his heart has grown just as much as his strength. He looks over to the Green Knight, wondering if he'll have the ability to tear Beletripe away from the chaos in, but he pauses in surprise. The Green Knight, he's so timid, he doesn't care at all. He wonders what's going on with Beletripe, who's just sitting there menacingly. Percival walks away from Diodora, who is still being comforted by his cute little friends, and grabs his sword. All the while, Gawain is trying to bribe Tristan, telling him, "So, Prince Tristan, I have a completely generous offer for you. What do you think about forfeiting the match to me?" She gives a prideful smirk, telling him that they know how it's going to turn out, so there's no need to get hurt for any reason, is there? But Tristan rest assures her that there are no worries. He'll be sure to heal you right up after you lose. Dang. Tristan, my boy, that was a good comeback. The two stare daggers into one another. The tension so thick you can cut it with a knife. But Percival comes to break the tension, waving his sword like a little brother saying, "Hey, show me a good fight." This is definitely what they needed to break the tension. But now, Percival is in trouble because Gawain now has her eye set on him, yelling at him that she can't believe an airhead like him reached the final round first. You know, I really love the whole sibling energy that they got going on with the four knights. They're best friends, but you can tell that there's something of a close kinship, almost brotherly and sisterly love between them all. Lancelot is the older brother. Tristan and Gawain are the middle siblings. And Percival is just the cute little brother who just makes everyone feel better. It's nice. It makes me sad that we have not seen Lancelot at this point because how long have we not seen him? I lost count. Back in the stands, Donnie is having a conversation with his uncle Hauser saying, "So the top three in the event are all Knights of Prophecy, huh?" Hauser does not deny it, but he's got to hand it to them. Yes. But more importantly, how will they tackle the host up there? Sadly, we'll never get our Gawain versus Tristan fight, because up above, the clouds swirl and twirl above the arena, shocking everyone. A giant rose is now floating above the Green Knight in his stand, with a magical force equal to Beletripe's. And from that flower, who should appear but the visitor? It's Worrlendane, the White Knight herself, who apologizes to everyone for being late. Percival is wondering how Worrlendane is even alive, because last they met, he killed her human half and King shot her out of the fairy realm with chastity. Naciens is on alert, telling his friends that that is another one of the four evils who struck against the fairy realm. So not only do they have to deal with Beletripe, but now they got Worrlendane to worry about. Gowther's concerned, wondering just how did he contact her? Is it because of the chaos implant that they are able to communicate with each other? Kind of like a hive mind or a group chat now that I think about it. The Green Knight scolds his ally, telling her that she's late. But our magical White Knight tells him that you should be glad I'm here at all. I was busy with the God of War. Hey Greek Weeb, she's using our nickname for Lancelot. Because, come on, God of War. Only me and Greek Weeb have ever used that title for Lancelot. And this is our first hint at a long time that we finally get to know something about Lancelot's whereabouts. Lancelot is out there and he's active. Back to the present, Worrlendane looks over Annwfyn, saying, "You were right. The moment I sat here in Annwfyn, part of my memory suddenly grew quite hazy. If it even affects me, the sorcerer behind this must be a genius. Fascinating." You know, despite being evil and the villain, I think Gawain would take pride in that compliment. Though she wouldn't be excited about what Worrlendane is doing next. She casted incantation, moving her arms in a dramatic fashion until she finally casts her spell over the entirety of Annwfyn. Not just in the arena, but the entire place. Super range. Absolute cancel. Casting the spell over the entire region of Annwfyn. A magical shockwave sends everyone flying, except Fallen, who's just standing there like a rock. And during that shockwave, what should happen but everyone's ring starts to fall apart and break off. The only sort of camouflage that they had during this entire mission is now gone. The veil has been lifted, with the Green Knight saying that his mind feels sharper already, thanking himself for summoning Worrlendane to his side. Not only that, but his comrade tells the Green Knight that if you feel better now, Beletripe, look down there. They deserve praise for marching right into the party like this. The cute little mice who defy the kingdom. She's talking, of course, about 3 of the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse standing ready to face the 2 evils of chaos. Beletripe is furious that those dirty little children tried to trick him. Not only did he now figure out that 3 of the 4 knights were in Annwfyn, but that his dear 𝐿𝐵𝐵 was actually 𝐿𝐵𝐵 all along, and it took him this long to notice that. The Platoon allies are in shock that 𝐿𝐵𝐵 was there all along. Even Pelio, I forgot he was even in this, exclaiming that the master was up there. Oh yeah, I forgot that Pelio and 𝐿𝐵𝐵 had their own little kinship relationship. Beletripe and Worrlendane are excited, now noticing that all these rank and filers with the Knights of Prophecy are daring to resist. Laughing menacingly, Beletripe extends his hand into the air, exclaiming that alright then, the festival is hereby over. Now that the veil is lifted and Worrlendane by his side, Beletripe is about to take on 3 of the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse. And that is how we end chapter 199. Oh, my poor chart. My thumbnail artist worked pretty good on this, and it was very accurate. I should have known that this tournament was never going to give us a real final match. I mean, look at how Nakaba does tournament arcs. There is no final winner. They always get interrupted, and what a way to interrupt this fight with the White Knight herself, Worrlendane, showing up. Though, I would have liked to see 𝐼𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 and Pelgard come. We've seen Worrlendane in action. She is a top tier mage when enhanced by chaos, but we haven't seen 𝐼𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 or Pelgard. Did the chaos do something to their magics? Can Pelgard do something else with his fire now? Is it just more enhanced? Along with that, the whole narrative with Diodora and Percival was about 𝐼𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. And after what happened with Percival telling him to help his father try to remember him, 𝐼𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 showing up with the chaos powers would have been a good twist. All that aside, what I'm most excited for is Beletripe finally giving action. Much like Dragon from One Piece, he's just been there, doing nothing, watching the fights, making commentary, though he has been putting it together over the course of time that he knew something was up. Now we get to see the brother of Escanor in action. What is his true power that has been enhanced by chaos? How will he fight against the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse? We'll have to see in chapter 200. Yeah, we're about to enter the 200 milestone, which is pretty big for Nakaba when you consider that the original series ended at around chapter 342. With all that in mind, be excited for next week in chapter 200. If you love 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Knights of the Apocalypse material, subscribe to the Anime Underworld for more content coming your way, but check out our library for shorts and other videos on other material with more coming your way very soon. This has been Dante from the Anime Underworld, and I'll see you mortals later.